Good day. This is the presentation of Group 4, and our topic for today is all about peace education. So, what is peace education? Peace education is the process of acquiring values, knowledge, attitudes, skills, and behaviors to live in harmony with oneself, others, and natural environment. So sabi daw, ang peace education ay isang proseso para magkaroon or makakuha or matutong isang tao na mamuhay na may kakayapaan. Ang peace education ay naglalayong lumikha sa tao ng kamalayan or human consciousness, knowledge, and desire to make the world more peaceful. And according to Ian Harris and John Sinat, they have described peace education as a series of teaching encounters that draw people from their desire for peace or yung kagustuhan nila ng kapayapaan, non-violent alternatives for managing conflict, or yung tamang proseso or paraan kung paano i-manage ang hindi pagkakaunawaan, and skills for critical analysis of structural arrangements that produce and legitimize injustice and inequality. James Page suggests peace education be thought as an encouraging a commitment to peace as a settled disposition and enhancing the confidence of the individual as an individual agent of peace, as informing the student on the consequence of war and social injustice, as informing the student on the value of peaceful and just social structures and working to uphold or develop such social structures, as encouraging the student to love the world and to imagine a peaceful future, and as caring for the student and encouraging the student to care for others.
So we are now familiar on definitions of peace education. And now, let us know more about its history. So, history of peace education. Peace education began with the Enlightenment era philosophers like Immanuel Kant and Jean-Jacques Rousseau. These Enlightenment philosophers helped usher in a new era of democratic government that effectively brought humanity out of the Dark Age. So, ining duang philosopher which is si Immanuel Kant and Jean-Jacques Rousseau ay tumulong sa pagsisimula ng isang bagong panahon ng demokratikong pamahalaan. So, these philosophers did not refer to their work as peace education, but it did emphasize similar themes. So, dinindat tinukoy yung sa indang ginibo bilang edukasyong pangkapayapaan. Pero, pig-emphasize ninda or binibigyang diin ninda ang mga katulad na tema like humanitarian concerns, equal rights or pantay na karapatan, liberty, kalayaan, equality, pagkakapantay-pantay, and social justice or katarungang panlipunan. So, while the study of war and military strategy dates back for millennia, the formal academic study of peace is relatively new. So, habang ang pag-aaral ng digmaan at diskarte sa militar ay nagsimula, ang formal na akademikong pag-aaral ng kapayapaan ay medyo bago para sa inda. So, several notable historical figures of the 20th century have engaged in our peace education as a means of achieving their goals of harmonious non-violence. So, maraming mga kilalang makasaysayang tao noong 20th century ang nakibahagi sa hayagang edukasyon ng kapayapaan bilang isang paraan ng pagkamit ng kanilang mga layunin ng maayos na walang karahasan. So, Gandhi, the 14th Dalai Lama, and Martin Luther King Jr. are the most famous of these. So, the anti-war movement and civil rights movements of the 60s went a long way to solidifying peace education as a valid means by which to help people get along in the world. So, ang kilusang anti-digmaan at kilusang karapatang sibil noong dekada 60 ay nagsagawa ng mahabang paraan upang patatagin ang edukasyong pangkapayapaan. So, bilang isang bastong paraan upang matulungan ang mga tao na magkasundo sa mundo. So, this phenomenon of the convergence of several peaceful humanitarian movements created an urgency in the development of formal theories and practices in peace education. So, ang hindi pangkaraniwang bagay na ito ng pagsasamang-sama ng ilang mapayapang makataong mga kilusan ay lumikha ng isang pagkaapurahan sa pagbuo ng mga formal na teorya at kasanayan sa edukasyon pangkapayapaan. So, in 2013, the United Nations held its annual International Day of Peace and established peace education as its theme for that year. So, noong 2013 nga, idinaos ng United Nations ang tauhang International Day of Peace at itinatag ang edukasyong pangkapayapaan bilang tema nito para sa taong iyon. So, and today, we still see humanitarian work in the form of peace education as the world becomes ever more dangerous and divided. So, hanggang ngunyan ay nakikita pa rin natin ang makataong gawain sa anyo ng edukasyong pangkapayapaan which is peace education habang ang mundo ay nagiging mas mapanganib at nakakahati.
Core concept of peace education. Peace education promotes the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to help people prevent conflict occurring, resolve conflicts peacefully, or create conditions for peace. For building peace, more and more peace concepts, attitudes, values, and behavioral skills are being integrated through education nowadays. It embodies the joy of living and personality development with the qualities of love, hope, and courage. Peace education's activities promote the knowledge, skills, and attitude that will help people either to prevent the occurrence of conflict, resolve conflicts peacefully, or create social conditions conducive to peace. Core values as nonviolence and social justice are central to peace education. Nonviolence is manifested through values such as respect of human rights, freedom, and trust. Social justice is realized by principles of equality, responsibility, and solidarity. Peace education is a primary pillar for preventing armed conflict and violence, saving lives, freeing up limited resources of social needs. In order to achieve these ideals, peace education programs across the world address a wide range of themes. These include nonviolence conflict resolution techniques, democracy, disarmament, gender equality, human rights, environmental responsibility, history, communication skills, coexistence, and international understanding and tolerance of diversity. Peace education can be delivered to people of all ages in both formal and informal settings. Programs exist at local, national, and international levels and in times of peace, conflicts, and post-conflict. Peace education helps young people gain knowledge, enhance their skills in the area of peace and form an attitude about the meaning of peace in human life. Peace education activities promote conflict resolution that promotes peace and values such as respect for human rights, freedom, and confidence.
To create public dialogue, different factions of society are often brought together in peace education programs. These typically include civil society groups, school, tribal leaders, and the media. In school, peace education is taught through curricula that explore principles and values dedicated to achieving more peaceful, inclusive, and sustainable just societies. As a result of peace education, students gain a better understanding of the cause and effect of harmful social interaction, as well as the skills to intervene to break the cycle of conflict and the violence such as bullying. In terms of using social media, it can also facilitate peace by encouraging valuable dialogue between people from different ethnic groups, religious, and political backgrounds. Yet, due to the many areas covered by the peace education initiative are primarily determined by culture and context as well as by the project's scope and objectives. Peace education and peace building are therefore intrinsically linked. The UN's action for peace building include education as one of its principal components. For peace building initiatives to remain sustainable, it is vital that attitude toward war and violence are transformed and translated into long-term behavioral change which seeks alternative solutions to armed conflict.
Scope of peace education. Peace education is concerned with helping learners to develop an awareness of the processes and skills that are necessary for achieving understanding, tolerance, and goodwill in the world today. Ang goal ng peace education ay i-assist ang mga learners na maging aware sa mga procedures and abilities or skills na kailangan para maintindihan yung tolerance and goodwill ngayong nasa modern society na tayo. Peace education draws together various pedagogical traditions. Pag sinabi nating pedagogical or pedagogy, meaning taken as an academic discipline, pag-aaral kung paano nare-relay yung knowledge and skills sa educational context. So other than pedagogical traditions, peace education also draws together educational philosophies and global initiatives to improve learning-based human development. The practice of peace education is an opportunity to promote the total welfare of students, advocate for their justice and equitable treatment of youth, and promote individual and social responsibility for both educators and learners.
Scope of peace education. As individuals in the society, education directed to the development of attitude and behavior of a human being, and to strengthen respect for the human rights that lead to understanding and tolerance among all. Peace education has considered in different levels: individual or self-development level, at school or community level, on the national level, and at the global level. Peace education aims to cultivate knowledge, skills, and attitudes needed to create and sustain a global peace. As education is entrusted to implement and develop peace, schools should develop students to possess these skills: positive thinking, empathetic listening, and communication, assertive behavior, decision making, and critical thinking. Through these, students will be empowered. And also, scope of peace education, the concern of it is to helping learners to develop an awareness of the processes and skills that are necessary for achieving understanding, tolerance, and goodwill in the world today. And it brings together multiple tradition theories of education and the advancement of a human development through learning.